We're sitting in the back chat talking about safes and stuff and cool gun stuff because we're talking about guns tonight because this is a gun chat where people have guns because this is America and the Second Amendment's a thing, and fuck you if you're from Britain. Fuck yeah, this is the 2A Taco Tuesday with E-Honda and friends. How's it going, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Again, we do try to talk about guns, but wherever the conversation goes, and I, in particular, do not have anything whatsoever prepared. I have no prepared remarks for this evening. So, especially wherever the conversation goes.
And 757 minutes ago.
That's a long time. I mean, I was going to do, I thought about this earlier today, but I didn't end up having time, and then I wanted to take a nap. I was going to pull up a whole bunch of information on the extinction of the dinosaurs. Any comments about that right now?
Oh God, no.
Because
No
I don't
comment
know
at
why
all.
it pissed me off so bad, but I mean, it's like everything that we've ever known about the Earth and how things work, everything that we've been taught, I guess, which is where the conflict lies. And I guess what happens is when you get lied to about one subject by the powers that should not be and lied to about another subject about the powers that should not be, when you start thinking about the other things that they've taught you, like dinosaurs and fucking woolly mammoths and stuff, you start questioning that too. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess that's where that comes from, honestly, is the fact that it's like being in a relationship with a girl that cheats on you and then she goes out with her friends. She's like just out with her friends, man. But she cheated on you, bro. You can't fucking trust that bitch. Anyway, how's it going, everybody? Never Enough Ammo's here tonight, or as his moniker says, Geek Fusion TV.
It says both. They're both are there.
Whatever that is. No, I'm just kidding.
I just didn't change the fucking name.
Matt, take the Dasani fucking sponsorship, and then you can hook us. You can just mail out a random case of Dasani water to everybody.
I need to. I bought a bunch of shit today. I gotta fucking pay for it.
What did you buy today?
2 tires, 2 tubes, and a helmet.
Oh, okay. Did you get the helmet that you were looking at? The Texas
yeah,
helmet?
I got that Texas one, the black with the silver writing.
Nice.
Did you end up getting just like cruiser tires, or what tires did you get?
Yeah, I was looking at a bunch of shit, and I was basically going back and forth between the Kenda and the Dunlop, and I was looking up reviews on them on a bunch of the forums, and people trying them all out, and basically people were saying the guys at the Honda Shadow forums were like, the Kendas are better than the Dunlops for the shadows, especially in wet conditions, and they're the what is it, the bias ply instead of the fucking whatever you call it, the other type of tire. So they were like, yeah, we like these better. So I was like, fuck it, I'll go with those then. So I went with Kendas. They got some that are specifically made for cruisers, is what they are.
Yeah.
And so I got a front and rear set, matching set, same tread. They're supposed to be good for wet conditions and shit and all that stuff. And so it was either them or the Dunlops. I looked at that. What's that one we were looking at that one time? Shinko or Shino or
yeah, Shinkos are cheap, but
I was looking at those, and people were like, some people like them.
They're decent. There's nothing wrong with them.
They're good tires. Nobody was complaining about them. But the two that kept popping up as the best options for what I was looking for cruisers, were the Dunlops and the Kendas. And so I just started looking around and trying to compare those two, and I ended up on the fucking Honda Shadow forums, and there was like 4 different posts, 4 different threads talking about those two, and consensus seemed to be that for a fucking Honda Shadow, especially if you want something that's going to still have good tread in wet conditions, which as somebody who the only wreck I ever got into was because it was fucking raining, I like something that's a little bit better in wetter conditions. So that's what I went with.
I'm not saying you should have got these. You probably made the right choice. But how cool would that bike look with knobbies on it?
It looked fucking crazy. It looks like some Mad Max looking shit.
Yeah, dude. It'd look sick as fuck with some knobbies. And it wouldn't be the best for the road, honestly. And it wouldn't be the best for the off-road either, because of the bike that it is. But it would look fucking cool.
It'd look cool. Like if I was gonna do a fucking Mad Max build, that's totally what you got to do. You got to do a chopper with fucking knobbies on it.
I was gonna put knobbies on the Ninja until I got the fucking the 650, the fucking dirt bike thing that I've got. But oh man, Let On
No,
Steel.
Let On Steel said, "Fuck that."
Still talking about bikes, not toys. Fuck that.
They get super scary on the highway. Like every little bit of wind just pushes you side to side.
What are you talking about?
Man.
The knobby tires.
No. I mean, it's usually what that would be is like you have knobby tires on a lighter bike, and so when it's windy and you're on a lighter bike, it pushes you everywhere. Because generally, you don't put knobby tires on like a big 1200 or something, you know.
Well, I was hauling around, dude. I'd been riding my son's bike since he got it about a month and a half ago or so, and I've been riding that sumbitch on the highway and stuff, doing 80 miles an hour, and it's got knobbies on it. It drives just fine.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell a difference.
Are they
if you're
like
riding a cruiser or a street bike or anything like that? You can tell a difference, but it ain't that bad.
My KLR's got knobbies on it, but they're like 80/20s, where they're like 80% for off-road, but they're made for actually going on the roads or DOT approved.
Yeah, these are too. They're not full like fucking off-road tires, but they're still pretty. They're like 80% of the way there. You know what I mean?
Bro, these look like they're 100% for the dirt, but they've got whatever kind of rubber they're made of is better at gripping or whatever. But yeah, dude, when you're hauling ass, like even when you're going slow, you can't tell that. Because like you would think, like rolling over it, you would feel the knobs and it would be kind of bumpy as you're going along. But no, you don't feel it.
I've been driving my sons around and it fucking drives great. It's nice and smooth. I don't have any problems with it whatsoever. And it's made to fucking like, if I want to fucking haul off road real quick, it'll fucking tear ass. So, I mean, it's just, I mean, the one he's got is basically, well, you know which one it is. It's the same one they have in dirt bike form. They just made it street legal. That's all it is.
Yeah.
They just put all the street legal shit on it, but it's one of the dirt bikes.
It's got a newly designed motor. So it's actually the CRF 300. Sorry, not the CRF, the CB 300. So like the sport bike version is the same motor that you have, but it's just slightly detuned to have a little bit more torque, and like the air intake's different. Like if you watch Jake the Garden Snake, that dude that I talk to sometimes, who I was going to have you do his AK, like refinish his AK or whatever, or I forget what he had. There was something you were going to do for him, but he had a CRF 300L that they completely redid the suspension, because that's everyone's complaint about it. Because like if you don't know, dude, only one of those front forks has a spring in it. Isn't that weird?
That is odd. But...
Yeah. So like the one thing that people do is like it's still the tube. The tube part is all the same. They just finish building the other fork so that it has twice the front suspension and upgrade the rear shock on it. And then there's a big bore kit that you can do, which it's not 300, it's a 286, right? But then the big bore kit turns it into a 301, which isn't much, but it's something. It's within the realm of like keeping the reliability of a Honda motor, you know? And then he did like a tune on it and stuff, and basically almost doubled the horsepower and blah, blah, blah. But that's a fucking cool bike. And then what he did is he got another set of wheels from, I forget who. They make supermoto wheels. So it's like a regular 17-inch rim, like sport bike tires that you put on that bike. So it gives it like way more grip on the road. And then you can switch back and forth depending on what you're doing. Right. But yeah, dude, that's kind of like a do everything bike. The only thing it doesn't do well is like packing up a bunch of stuff on it and going across country, you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. It's fun. I like riding it around. And I've gotten up to about 84. That's about as fast as I've gone on it as of yet, which is more than fast enough to do anything down here. But I wouldn't want to cruise long term on that fucking thing.
Yeah. I mean, the Honda Shadow that you have, though, like that thing's got a little bit faster top speed, I think, compared to the CRF. So
it's supposed to have a top speed of 112. That's what the fucking Honda website says.
That's not what I saw. I thought it was like 97.
Nah, it's rated for 112.
Where did you see that?
My 96 went faster than that. I got my 96 up to 120. So, but which is why I got the H fucking tires instead of the S tires. Not that I will ever go that fast, but I just want better tires. Fuck it.
The
I got the
internet
higher
says
speed.
93 is the top speed.
Yeah, I went to the Honda forums.
My God, you guys even have Mark Malone talking about Jesus Christ. And he's all about Jews.
Well, no. He hates the Jews. He loves Jesus. He hates the Jews because they killed Jesus.
Yeah, it's true.
Even though it wasn't the Jews that killed Jesus, it was the Romans. But, whatever.
Pontius
The
Pilate.
Jews were the ones that turned them in.
Yeah.
No, it was Judas that turned him in. But specifically, it was a person that turned him in. But
It was the Jews that wanted him persecuted by the government. That's true. Fucking
That's why you must have separation of religion and state.
Don't Poke the Bear says, what service did you use to ship the bike? What's the name of it?
Amity Transport.
BustyAsianBeauties.com.
Yeah, I'll talk to the dude. They're based out of Florida. I'll talk to them on the phone. Talk to them twice.
Don't Poke the Bear says, I'm looking for an Indian bike.
Oh my
You
God.
want an American bike, but more expensive than a Harley.
I had a friend who had an Indian. I never rode it. He had an Indian. It was like a 80-something Indian. And I would see it, and it was really nice. And I don't think he hardly ever rode the damn thing. It just stayed in his garage under a fucking cover all the time.
Dude, the new Indian Scouts, I don't like the Indian Chief because it's like a fully dressed fucking cruiser. It's like a Goldwing, but made by Indian, or like a fucking Road King, So it's like a big ass bike with everything on it. That's not my style. But the Scout, I don't know what motor it has in it, but supposedly it's pretty peppy. And it's a cool looking bike. It kind of looks like the bike that Captain America rode in. I forget which movie it was, when they're fighting the dudes in the forest and they got to fucking take the base or whatever before.
Oh, he fucking jumps off the bike and flings it into the front of the fucking base.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
What movie was that? I forget.
That is the beginning of Age of Ultron.
Yes, I actually fucking love that movie.
That's a good movie, dude.
Yeah.
It's a really good fucking movie. It got a lot of shit because the people were like, "Oh, it's not as good as the first one." I'm like, yeah, but it's
Matt.
still a really fucking good movie, man.
I have a question for you, Matt. How many hours a week do you get to watch movies? Because I have no idea how you've seen the amount of movies.
Yeah.
you've
By
seen.
the way, you need to learn to watch your mouth. You know what I'm saying? You need to watch your mouth. I have spies that watch this show when you talk shit about me when I'm not on the show.
I'm not talking shit about you. What I'm talking about
bullshit.
is how in the fuck do you have
Bullshit.
enough hours to see all these movies?
Bullshit. I got
Wait,
people
Matt
telling
got
me talking
spies.
shit about me, making fun of me for watching so much TV. And then
How do you
then Honda had
manage
to fucking-
16 movies a day?
Then Honda had to fucking defend me and go, well, in his defense, he has a job where he sits there in front of the computer.
Yeah, he's like, he gets
I know
paid
what
to
you
fucking
bitches are
watch
saying
TV.
about me. Honda knows who my spy is.
Oh my god!
Honda knows.
I
who
can't
my
believe
spy
your
is.
spy
It was
watches
later.
my show. That's the funny thing, is that they watch it as they go to sleep at
It
night.
helps them sleep for whatever reason. It helps them sleep.
I mean, to be fair, I do that with certain podcasts too.
Well, in all fairness, they also do that with like Tim Pool and shit. Like whatever's available.
Yep,
Bedtime.
same thing.
Jeez, Honda, they're just using you for scraps.
Yeah, I'm putting people to sleep over here. That's what I
Well,
do.
Hey,
Honda
it's
Streams
still
is very
views.
therapeutic.
A view is a view. It don't matter.
Anyway, but no, that is the answer. I have a job where I sit on a computer. I have two monitors, and I have one where I'm working, and on the other monitor, I'm fucking watching shit all day.
Jesus.
And if I have something to do, if I got to get on the phone or something, I pause whatever I'm watching and then come back to it.
Because
I mean, yeah, I could-
every other day you're like, I'd binge watch this series. I'm like, holy shit, that's like 36 hours.
Dude, in the last 3 weeks, I have binge watched all 10 seasons of Stargate SG-1.
Oh my god.
That is 213 hour-long episodes.
Oh my god.
Bro,
I mean,
if
to
you
be
go to F movies or Solar movie right now, they're both broken for me.
F movies hadn't worked forever. I've been using net movies for a couple months.
Well, because like I'll go to like I'll watch I don't know, like fucking Deep Space Nine or something, right?
Yeah.
And I want to go to season 7, episode 2, and I start playing that episode, and I'm like, "Oops, that wasn't the right episode. Let me go to episode 3." Nope, it plays episode 2 again. Like
You have to go-
replay.
I've had the same thing happen, and I switch servers because sometimes a server will get stuck on one episode. It does. I've had the same thing happen to me with shows, and so I just switch the server that I'm watching on.
Just close it out and open a new one, kind of.
Well, even if I close it out and open up a new one, it doesn't do it. But you know how they've got like the vid service, FileMoon, and VidPlay are like the 3 main servers.
Oh,
If
like
it-
that. Okay.
If it does it to me on one of those servers, I just click like if it does because I usually watch on vid service because that's usually the best one. And if it starts doing it to me on that, I'll switch to like FileMoon or VidPlay, and then it'll be the right episode. Because sometimes those servers get fucking stuck on that episode. I don't know why, but they do.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
to go back what Matt was saying, I'm like, yeah, in my particular job, I can kind of do the same thing too, and especially depending what shift you are. But I don't be watching movies or TV shows as much. That's usually my coworker. I'll be watching like gun knowledge videos or any other random shit on the internet.
No, what you do is come on people's podcasts and talk for 2 hours without being interrupted one time and get paid for it. It's amazing. It makes me want to be a security guard. Like, oh, I could just fuck off for fucking 10 hours? Like,
Oh, yeah, dude. There's some contracts, dude. When I was doing like
It depends.
back 16s, I just sat there and watched fucking movies when it was night shift because like hardly anything goes on. But you gotta fucking stay awake. It's boring as fuck. You just watch movies all fucking night and get paid for it.
Right. Like, what happens if something happens? You call the police. You don't even get involved, I don't think, right?
No,
It's
it
like,
depends on
at
what your
this point-
contract is.
That's what it is.
Well, yeah, but I mean, in most cases, like if you physically get in an altercation with people in 2024 without being an actual police officer, the odds that it ends in a fucking lawsuit are much greater than your fucking salary. So they don't give a fuck, bro. Just call the police.
No, I mean, there are some that I could tase or on and put my cuffs to like cop game, and then I just took my cuffs off and they took them.
I can imagine there's a point where if you tase someone, it feels really good.
Yeah, yeah, but then you have to get tased for training. And you're like, wow, I never fucking want tased again.
Mhm.
I'm saying, like, not the guy that you're tasing just because you have to like go through the training, but like the asshole who's being an asshole who you warned 5 times and now it's number 6 and you're bringing out the taser and you're like, do it again, motherfucker.
Yes, the good shit. I would rather be tased than a baton to the leg, though. When you hear a guy's leg crack after you hit him, you're like, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and call the ambulance because now you're going to pay $5,000 to go get your leg fixed and then go to jail.
I took one to the shoulder in high school. Hey,
Collarbone. Yikes.
he was doing like a big, huge fight outside the school.
You're really muffled.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what I'm
Oh yeah, and I was just saying, right? It was a big fight, and the police was just going through the crowd with the baton, just hitting everybody.
Yeah. That'll stop it real
They
quick.
teach you to hit, dude, is in the meat of the leg. They teach you to hit them in the fucking, like in the quadriceps or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's areas you're supposed to know how to hit people with.
The knee, pretty much anywhere on the knee with a good sweep fucking blows dick.
I thought you were trained not to hit someone in the knee because then you actually do fucking damage to their fucking bone and stuff, you know, versus if you hit them in the muscle, it incapacitates them without actually putting them in the hospital at the end of it. I don't know.
Well,
Maybe they just train you to be a fucking piece of shit asshole. I'm not sure.
Well, if I see a guy with a knife, I'm definitely not going to be nice to him.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I agree with that one, but yeah, we're not supposed to hit you. Of course, not in the head because you never know what happens there.
Get hit in the head. That's deadly force.
Right. That makes sense.
Well, shit, it's deadly force me even pulling out the baton. But I'm like, if I'm in that situation, I'd rather use the gun than the fucking baton.
Do you guys think
shoot
that,
him in the head? Pay attention.
Did you guys see any of? I didn't watch the full interview, but there was like the 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris that she got. I don't know if the whole thing destroyed her, but on fucking immigration, she got completely destroyed by the fucking host who like kept pushing his point home, and she like kept trying to avoid it, and she just looks like shit. You guys see this?
Oh, he was getting her on a whole bunch of stuff.
I heard she got just destroyed by everybody who watched it. I didn't watch it yet.
I mean,
I heard that she owns a Glock.
Yeah.
The gun owner. Yeah.
What kind of Glock?
well, isn't a Glock? Correct me if I'm wrong. She's from California, right? She was the DA of California. Isn't a Glock illegal in California?
Is it on the list?
Is it illegal? No.
What?
on the
Like y'all
list.
gonna have Gen 3s, right?
Yeah,
Right, you gotta
Yeah,
have
just
like,
Gen
a
3.
grandfathered Glock in order for it to fucking fit, or get one from a police officer secondhand, or whatever the fuck method you gotta
No,
do.
no. It's one of the few guns that got exempt in the handgun roster because it's old.
So do you think Kamala Harris has a Gen 1 Glock in her
I
fucking
doubt
office?
that. It's probably just a Gen 3 like everything else.
she's got a Glock because that's the only term she's ever heard of in the gun.
So it could be 17, 19, 21.
With a switch on it.
She should
I
have
remember all of them.
locked down. Now we got her up and locked down. Fucking bitch.
Knowing her, she's got a Glock 18.
She probably could have.
You can't even count to 18
Right.
in Ohio.
No, she's got a Glock with one of those Wish.com switches that all the kids in the hood have. The boys in the hood.
Wish I can get a Gen 5.
She tried to change out her trigger and lost a piece, and then
Remember that movie Boys in the Hood?
Yeah.
And there's that iconic scene from the end where he's running away from the guy with the sawed-off double-barrel shotgun. Yep, and he points it out the window, and oh man, I was so upset when that happened. I mean,
Yeah.
he was going
Well,
places,
he was gonna
man.
be
He was
dead.
going to school. He was getting his life cleaned up. He was going to do good for the world.
Yeah, I think he had a
They
football
shot his
scholarship.
ass.
Yeah, I think he had a football scholarship or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, his brother got him back on him with the AK on the guy.
The thing about that entire scene is, you
But
know
then his
you're
brother
running
got
from dudes who are gangbangers. Why the fuck you scratching lottery tickets and just walking randomly?
Because
Well, he wasn't the smartest person. Let's be real.
No,
He never played
because
football. That's it.
no, because remember throughout the movie, they would threaten them, with the guns, but they'd never do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
when they
well-
running, they were just like, "Ha ha!" We ran away from them again. They didn't think it was actually going to go down.
Well, he was the idiot who thinks that nothing was going to happen, but his friend, the main character, did told him.
I want to let you guys know, in spirit of Halloween, every teacher at Hogwarts was in fact armed.
Technically, yeah,
I just seen that. It was
they
awesome.
were.
They was packing big time, bro.
Is that how the gay lords and the fag lords and all the other lords in Chicago, all the lord gangs, what are their names? The lord gangs?
They got like unknown vice lord, traveling vice lord, conservative vice lord, mafia insane vice lords.
Are you serious?
What
Yeah.
the
How the
hell?
fuck do they hand sign that fast?
They're all the lords. They're the lords and ladies of the land.
Lords and
No, when you don't hand sign it,
Magical
you use
ladies of the
TVL, you use TVL, IVL, UVL. That's how they tag.
Is this ASL?
Do you just walk around with like a paragraph of shit on your back and hope that they're included, or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they sign all that in ASL?
We should
Of
start
course.
a gang called the Chicago Gay Lords.
Oh.
But it's already one.
Oh, there's already one?
Yeah,
Nuh-uh.
remember I told you that. Yeah, there's already one. Just join. Actually, that is the white gang.
Just
Well, it used to be the white gang.
Okay, we'll call
Gay
How
her
can
Lords
you
was
get
the white
jumped?
gang.
the Super Gay Lords.
Right, remember, these gangs came out in the 50s. So the
Yeah, wasn't that all
name
like the
is what
Zoot
it
Suit
is.
days and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure gay in the 50s was still gay, right?
No,
I don't think
gay
they
was
were happy.
I think it meant happy.
It wasn't
lords.
mine was gay.
Yeah.
They were the lords of happiness. Now they're lords of penis. Slightly different.
This is way better than motorcycles.
Right.
Did
I
he
seen that
work?
He says her gun is in 45 GAP with a switch. You
Wow.
ever get the rest of that gun together there? Never enough GAP?
No. I said I
He was
wasn't
binge
one.
watching Stargate SG-1, bro.
You still have the barrel though, don't you?
Yeah, I got the barrel and 2 magazines. That's it. So, or no, 2 barrels and 1 magazine. Whatever the fuck it is.
Someone
Want
said it was
another
slide.
magazine?
We get you a slide, and then all you need is a frame. You'll have to buy a frame.
We need 2 frames so he can akimbo 45 Glock.
Someone send him a box of ammo. That's the main thing. Once he has ammo in his hand for a gun, the odds that he's going to get the gun to shoot the ammo are like slightly higher. Because he won't want to waste ammo. Because after all, he is never enough ammo. You can't waste ammo when you're never enough ammo. Because there's never enough, so you can't waste it. Right?
Sure.
It makes logical sense to me, motherfucker. Fuck you. I don't fucking care.
I just gave away ammo today.
What?
To your son?
No. I sold a gun.
Ooh.
Well, technically, I didn't give it away, but it was like, here you go. Here's some ammo.
You sweeten the pot for the
No,
guy?
What gun did
Yeah,
you
that's
sell?
good.
4570.
Oh, is that how you paid for everything?
Partially, yes.
Okay, cool.
Is it Rossi?
Rossi? Go fuck yourself.
Well, there ain't nothing wrong with a Rossi.
I've got a Rossi 92. And
Rossi doesn't make
357.
4570s.
You've got that same gun. Your wife,
100% do. It's
your
small
wife
arm.
and I have the same gun.
Yeah, I know. You have a woman's gun.
We got a whammons gun.
45
No,
gas?
it's a fucking great gun. I love that fucking 357 lever action. No, I sold the 4570, and I sold it for $500 more than I paid for it.
Oh shit!
I need to give me
It's
one.
gone up a lot in value since I bought the fucking thing.
In this gun economy,
Yes,
bro, like nothing's going up in value right now. And as far as
dude,
guns,
I bought it in 2017, 2018 for $405. It's a Marlin GBL, brand new. They now sell for $1,200.
I was about to say that. Yeah, lever actions
I
cost
sold
a
it.
lot.
I sold it for $900 and gave the dude some ammo.
Shoot, I want me one, and now it's gonna cost me $1,200.
that's an interesting question. Like, how much did you pay for your current collection ish? Just like do the math in your head or whatever, which for some of us is going to be goddamn near impossible. Versus how much is it worth currently? I bet most of us aren't doing very good.
Yeah, the current economy? Yeah, no. Not great.
But if Kamala Harris wins, we'll all be like,
Millionaires.
well, not that, but we'll be pissed. But in a way, if you wanted to sell a gun, you'll be happy about it because you'll be able to get a good price for it.
Everybody making 6 figures.
But the way they're leaning towards, like, oh, you sold a gun? Do you have your FFL license? Because you sold a gun? It's like, bitch, that's not how that works. What happens if you take it through a gun shop, too? Like, you're still everyone's doing the paperwork. You're doing a 4473. Everyone's doing a background check, you know? I don't know. There was a girl I was dating a while back whose dad got injured and had to, like, retire early, basically, and he had a collection of like 100 guns or something like that, and he had to start selling them to pay for bills and such, and he sold like 8 or 10 or something like that in a 12-month period and got contacted by the ATF, and the ATF told him, this is according to him anyway, that if he kept selling guns, they were going to make him get a FFL license or they were going to prosecute him. I was like, shit. Kind of ruins the retirement plan if that's the retirement plan, if they don't let you sell enough guns to fucking retire. I don't know if that's your retirement plan, but it's not a terrible one, I don't think. You know, just keep buying guns until you're
The
like,
worse the world gets, I mean, the better that retirement plan looks.
I could damn near arm the entire apartment complex I live in, so we're good, you know.
But do you even like half of those fuckers, Honda?
I like 3 of them.
Well, all right, we'll just arm 3 of them then.
3 of them are okay. The rest can fuck off. I don't know. I got a new neighbor who seems pretty cool. And his mom came to stay with him for a while when he first moved in. And she's from Scotland. And she's got like the thickest Scottish accent. I fucking love it, dude. You don't hear that around
So
here.
you're hanging out with his mom, is what you're saying.
No, like I went outside and she was smoking a cigarette and she starts talking, you know, and I'm like, where are you from? You know, it was kind of one of those conversations.
Cleveland.
But yeah, I was hanging out with his mom. I guess if you want to put it like that and be an asshole, that's true.
I just figured you were going to seal the deal.
I mean, she's like 80, so there's that.
Ooh.
That means she's hadn't had it in a while.
She's
Seasoned.
she's thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
Seasoned.
What are the best guns?
Oh, good.
What are the best guns to buy for investment purposes?
Guns they don't make anymore.
I mean, it depends on what your idea of investment is. Like, what are you like? Are you talking
Like
about
if
stuff
you just
flip really quickly, and if you don't shoot it, it'll maintain its value?
yeah, like if you had 10 grand and you didn't want to leave it in the bank,
ARs, AKs, and Glocks. Those are the three things you should buy.
used,
Yeah, ARs, AKs, and Glocks.
Well,
used or new.
Think about this: like
Doesn't matter.
if you bought
Not
an
milk
SPS,
They will retain the value that whatever you have spent on them. If you bought it used, then it'll still be worth whatever you bought it for, probably more.
I would
If
say
it doesn't matter.
I disagree, man. I disagree
I disagree.
because a new gun, if you buy a new Glock and then you hold on to it for 5 years and shoot it 5 times and then sell it, it's worth less money than you bought it for, and money is worth less also. So you're losing money, and money is also worth less. Versus,
You'd
if you
think so,
buy-
but 3
you
weeks
buy
ago
a
I just
fucking-
sold a $400 AR-15 for $700. So,
well,
you know,
yeah, it's because you're fucking
one that the
people who
dude sat there and talked to me about that he also buys guns from PSA and builds his own ARs. Yet he was still willing to pay me $700 for a PSA AR that I fucking built for $400. And he's
Okay, to be fair, Matt, to be fair,
he knew fully well what those things cost because
Well,
he
Matt.
did not want to go through the hassle.
Well, yeah, that's that reason. That's one. Because remember, each area is different, each state and all this stuff. Like for me, that probably worth a lot more than gold because you're dealing with people that hard for you to get a gun out here. As opposed to somebody, where you're at. And, a gun like that, like ARs and AKs and all that stuff, that's like there's plentiful. So it's like sometimes the price is really low. Where somebody who would sell those type of guns, like remember when during the pandemic happened? That's why that shit was skyrocket so high. And that's why you also have certain guns that are like you don't find no more. So that's why those things cost a hell of a lot more, or maybe certain companies that died or whatever.
right, which is why I say like fucking buy a gun that isn't made anymore, like a Milsurp, or I don't know, like an old Smith and Wesson model that they don't make anymore, or like an old school Python or something that like they make Python still, but it's not the old one, and they only made so many of those. And so because there's a limited supply of something, the demand stays the same or even goes up at any point, like the price goes way up.
Yeah, like the AK that was made from that KR-103, that Kalashnikov company. I heard the AKs were good, but since that company went fucking under, I'm like, you better even buy those AKs now.
The issue is there's a line there, and you have to figure out which side of that line you want to be on. Do you want things that if things go really bad and or you need money that you can sell for a lot of money, or things that you can sell quickly? Because you cannot sell a Python quickly. You can sell it for a lot of money when you find the right person willing to buy it, and you can potentially make good money on it.
Well, he was
You
saying
can't
for
sell it
investment
quickly.
purposes, right?
However, ARs, AKs, and Glocks you can sell quickly. Now you're not going to make as much money on them, but if you need cash quick for whatever reason, you can sell those like that. You can post those on fucking Craigslist, and I can do a whole video on telling you how to post on Craigslist if you don't know, because you have to post. But you can sell those on Craigslist in probably about 6 hours. It'll be gone within 6 hours of the time you post it on Craigslist.
Well, yeah, that's a factor there.
Well, not everyone can sell to the Mexican cartel, Matt.
I don't. I write up fucking bills of sales and check everybody's fucking ID when they buy a gun for me, and I write down their driver's license number and their name and their date of birth and all that shit. Every fucking gun I've ever sold.
Funny thing is, the only thing I've sold is like AR lowers and magazines. The fun magazines.
But I'm still saying for like investment purposes, right? Like you've got $6,000, and let's say the price of a Makarov currently is $600. You could buy 10 Makarovs, hold on to them for 20 years, and in 20 years, they're probably going to be worth quite a bit more than $600. Number one, because $600 isn't $600 anymore, but also because over that 20-year period, the number of Makarovs on the market has gone down significantly, I would assume, while as the people who would want to buy them might be at a point where they're at a high price, And that's another
Potentially,
thing.
yeah. And like I said,
You got to
there are
strike while
guns
the
you can
iron's hot,
potentially
too.
make good money on.
Well, you got to strike while the
However,
iron's hot, though. Is the other part?
That's the thing, though, right? Like they're gonna okay, if I wanted to flip my Makarov right now that I only paid $300 for, I could easily make 600 on it. Right? It's worth double what I paid for it. However, how long would it take me to sell it if I needed cash now? Now, if you're just investing for I'm never gonna have to sell this stuff quickly, then yeah, buy that type of shit. Buy stuff that's going to appreciate much more. Right? Now, the downside to that is you're going to have to invest more off the top because you're not buying shit at retail. You're not buying old Pythons at retail. You're not buying Makarovs at retail. You're not buying surplus shit at retail, right? So you're going to have to buy stuff at whatever current, collector's prices are.
Yeah, which is a bit of a premium. But
yeah.
But
so
if
that's what you want to do. If you want to get the most bang for your buck, then that's the way to do it. However, you're just not going to sell that stuff quickly. That's why I say you got to figure out if you are keeping in mind that someday this may be an investment, you need to decide what type of investment are you wanting to get into. The investment that you can roll over really quickly on, or that you can make more money on. You need to figure that out when you buy these things.
Well, and then the other half of the equation is you're still buying a gun. You're still buying a useful tool in a defensive situation, right? And an SKS or a Makarov might not be the best choice for a defensive situation. So you might want to have your actual defensive guns figured out as a side piece, not for investment. This is for defense, versus having the investment guns where you're like, okay, I've got my all my bases are covered. What do I buy next? That's when I say, oh yeah, fucking buy Makarovs and SKSs and Mosins and fucking number one Mark IIIs and whatever else you fucking want.
My recommendation would be don't ever buy guns for investment.
Yeah,
I buy guns because I want them.
Same.
I never buy a gun with anything in my head about, well, this is going to be worth more someday, or I'm going to be selling this. I've never bought a gun for that reason, and I never will. Now, sometimes it works out where I got to pay for some stuff so I can sell a couple guns. And, guess what? I can make money on these. Awesome. But that's not why I bought them. That's not why I bought my 4570. Fuck, I bought my 4570 because I thought I was going to be going up to Idaho, and I wanted a 4570 for up there, right? So I didn't buy it because I knew someday it was going to be worth more than twice what I paid for it. I had no fucking clue when I bought the thing. But it was, and I made money on it. So cool.
It's funny that you almost moved your family to northern Idaho to get away from the government.
And now Idaho's completely gone to shit. Well, not completely.
Well, can you think of anyone else who moved away with their family to northern Idaho? Perhaps.
Yeah, I can. I absolutely can. Well, we weren't going to move to northern Idaho. We were going to move to southern Idaho. But
whatever, fine.
Yeah, same. But yeah,
how bad is Idaho right now? I mean, I've heard a lot of some people move from Washington over there.
The western part of it has been just completely butt fucked by Washington, Oregon, and California. Yeah. Which is what's the name of that big city on the western side? I'm blanking on the name of it.
Boise?
No, is it Boise? Yeah, Boise. It's completely overrun by liberals. That's also where the vast majority of the population is. So it's getting to the point to where they are starting to control the politics in that fucking state. Same way Portland did with Oregon and Seattle does with Washington.
Well, that's because, I know here in Illinois, if you get a Section 8 voucher, the address they want you to move to first would be somewhere in Iowa or something like that. You have to move there first. Then after so many months, you can move back within your original state to find a house. So if you're Illinois, you have to move to Iowa and live there. Then after so many months or years, then you can move back to Illinois. So that's how that works. So all the liberals are mostly like from like Illinois are going to Iowa.
Is that why they fucked up the Quad Cities?
Probably.
Because when I was a kid, that's where I was born, bros, in the Iowa side of the Quad Cities. And we had family who was on the Illinois side, which was rich, and the Iowa side was poor back then, right? And fucking, we moved away to Colorado, and we came back and visited, like, I don't know, 10 years later or something like that. And there were all these black kids, like, fucking riding their bicycles in the middle of the street, like, daring cars to hit them and fucking, like, trying to jump people and stuff. And we were playing in the backyard, and all these gunshots went off, and, like, all this stuff happened, and we ran inside, and we're like, Grandma, there was gunshots. And, like, I won't tell you what she said, but...
Oh, well.
It rhymed with biggers.
I wish I was a fly on the wall that day. I would have been in.
So, yeah, I mean, and we were like, Grandma, but like now it's like, maybe not that, then we should go around calling people that, but like, she knew what was going on, bro. Like, she had a fucking good head on her shoulders, and we were like, the liberal people from Colorado coming in and judging things, not knowing what was going on or how things were,
I mean, if you're mad and you want to drop that nuclear bomb, then go ahead and do it.
I mean, nobody's gonna tell you here, but yeah, I didn't know. I thought he was born native in Colorado. Okay.
Well,
somebody black cut you off in traffic.
I don't really remember.
You know what to do.
Like, I don't remember Iowa. I don't remember Davenport.
Well, I remember my mom was from Detroit, so she definitely had to get the fuck out of there. I think she left when she was like 8.
I need to turn on my heater.
Can you read this chat? Leo, I need you, bro.
Never enough. You're 1% black, right?
Grandma Handler was a real nigga.
It's the only reason why you invite Leo to your chat.
Hey, right, you still got Shot Red as a backup of Van Drake.
Yeah, we got the backup.
Right, or Corey.
Corey doesn't count. Corey can't
Corey
count.
Hey, just because Corey is white on the outside, don't mean he ain't black on the inside.
He's more
Corey is the honorary.
black.
Corey's
the
like
honorary
super
nigga.
white.
Are you saying Corey's like an inverted Reese's?
Yeah.
He's an honorary.
He's a white
like
chocolate Reese's, bro.
Right.
No, he's like a Hershey's, that Hershey's cookies and cream.
Yeah, Hershey cookie.
That's melanoma.
Bro, I forget what we're even talking about. Guns? Something about guns?
What guns to buy?
N-words.
What guns
In
are,
my experience, nobody's buying mill serps anymore. Like unless it's an M1 Garand or like super popular, like not a lot of people buying mill serps anymore. The market for those, I think those people are getting old and dying.
Well, I hope it's cheap for me to get.
Yeah, that's
And the
true.
older couple
You
again.
do get to a point where you're older and then you die, and then it's like, well, hopefully there's new gun owners who like fucking French guns from World War I or some shit, Like,
Well, see, here's the problem. They want the popular one. So get your Car 98s and your fucking MP40s and M1, Garand. And...
With that, I definitely agree with Never Enough. I think the mill cert market, all the old people that want them are dying.
Yep.
I mean,
So
mill
what you
circ
gotta
market's
do-
been dead for a while because to be honest, the only thing that was keeping the mill circ market afloat for the last 20 years was the fact that it was cheap and we were constantly getting imports. So people, mostly preppers, to be honest with you, were fucking buying shit hand over fist because it was cheap. But in the last 5 years, fucking Mosins, SKSs, Makarovs, fucking TT-33, fucking everything you can think of has gone to retarded fucking prices. And so you've taken that aspect out of it. So the only people still buying milsurps are people that are hardcore milsurp collectors. And like you were saying, most of those people are fucking going away. They ain't fucking collecting anymore because they're fucking passing on and shit. And there's not enough new people coming into the gun into the the gun hobby in the last 20 years that had any interest in milsurps outside of the fact that they were cheap. So,
dude, is there like there needs to be a resurgence? Okay, like in 2008 to 2012, and then especially after 2012, like once the assault weapons ban ended, and then we had this thing called YouTube that used to have like really good algorithms, right? And like if you watch something that you were interested in, it would pop something else that was related that you would also be interested in. And then pretty soon you're going down this whole rabbit hole of shotguns that you might want to buy. And you're like a new gun owner, right? Boom. Like there you
Nothing
go.
fancy and never enough ammo. That's actually how I found you, was the algorithm, Matt.
Yeah, same.
And I think that they learned, like, oh shit, if we leave people to their own devices, they go in directions we don't like. So what we got to do is herd the sheep in a certain way so that they don't know they're being herded, right? That way they don't fight us going in a certain direction. And then we can herd them away, these kids coming up especially, away from things like, I don't know, buying guns because they're scary and bad and evil and only criminals have guns and the government's going to come after you and target you if you have guns anyway. So what's even the point of having a gun? Just save your money and spend it on Starbucks.
I can't remember if I found Matt through Yankee or Yankee through Matt. Right, it's either or, one of those.
Dude, well, the same thing's happening to motorcycles too, I think. Right? Like the kids coming up, when I was a kid, you'd see like the fucking 16, 18-year-old kid who's like fucking 4 years older than you and like has a dirt bike and he's riding around the neighborhood illegally and no one can do anything about it and how fucking cool that shit is. You know? You know what it is now? Electric bikes. These kids have electric bikes. They don't fucking care. They think gas bikes are stupid.
Those
No,
little,
let me counteract that. Honda.
skateboards.
They still driving the gas bikes, but it's the little mini ones I be seeing ripping and running out here.
Well, the
Or those
electric ones are
trikes.
cheaper. You don't need a license. You don't need insurance. Like you don't need license plates. You don't need registration.
Yeah, those like big tire one-wheeled skateboards that are electric are huge around here in like the high school / college scene.
Well,
Yeah, versus back in the day, if you needed to get around, you'd buy a scooter because that was the cheapest way to get around. Was like a little like 49cc scooter or whatever, you know. And it kind of sucked, but it was kind of fun too, you know.
Well, they're trying to kill the incentive of you even trying to have a vehicle in general anyway. That's the first thing. I know way too many people that feel like that. The same thing with the whole thing with the house thing. But in terms of the gun stuff, you'd be surprised. Even the people that don't really like guns, for some reason they like those old-fashioned wood type guns. I've noticed, whether it's a shotgun, rifle, whatever. That guns just have that weird, I guess, movable feel on some type of guns. Where some people like I used to talk to some people, but some people like would rather deal with a AK, I guess, because you rack that charging handle a certain way, different than how an AR works. It's like a simple button press, when you have to release the bolt back. But
Yeah. Do you guys have any holes in your system that need filling? And I'm not talking about your vagina.
mm-hmm.
Well, didn't know.
Comms and medical are always my weakest.
As far as guns,
medical. So you're not getting enough cum.
guns.
That's what I heard. Comes in medical. So he's short on medical and cum. He needs more cum.
I need
More
more
cum, please.
walkie-talkies.
More
It's
come
nothing
here
is
for
enough.
tactical Ray Bottom.
Oh my god, you guys are so fucking...
I think I'm going to remember tactical Ray Bottom for the rest of my life, just so you know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Ohio did a thing on AI that I laughed way too hard at this morning because I was not fully awake.
What was it?
Pull it up, Ohio. Put this on the screen right now. This is what he found when he typed in tactical Ray Bottom in AI. This is your time to shine, Ohio. Don't fuck it up.
Did you post it somewhere? Is he even here right now?
I don't know what the
Right.
fuck he's doing.
His mic
He's like muted for my entire chat, and then it's like, how come you never invite me to your chat? I'm like, because you're muted the whole fucking time.
Yeah, he's definitely not there.
God damn it, Ohio.
What? Sorry, I was doing something.
Explain
So what
it
was
to
the
us. Brought it up. He's not here.
Oh, he's here.
He's here. Pull up that picture of Tactical Ray Bottom that you made on AI.
I didn't make that in AI. It's found on the internet.
Oh, if I could put it in the thing for Honda to put on the internet.
It's worse. Somebody else made it.
It should be in your Gay Frog Discord, actually.
Oh, is that where I seen it? That could be. It's a donkey.
So what was the consensus on what guns to buy? ARs and AKs? Cheap ones or mid-grade?
There's no cheap ones right now.
I mean, you count PSA prices cheap, yeah.
Wassers, the beautiful things that used to cost $300 are now like fucking $8. So
There you go, Honda. I just sent it to you. There you go.
You talking this thing?
That's Tactical Ray Bottom.
So
like,
you work at at a donkey show as the donkey.
You caught me.
I feel like you should be selling beer. Like this is like the beer sales fucking donkey, you know? And you should be like riding a fucking surfboard with like chicks in bikinis.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know why he has a ginger mullet though. A mohawk with a mullet. Like, is this Corey's fucking animal or what's going on here? I don't know.
It'd be funny if you go bald and you just grow a mohawk, but like the fucking balder you get, the further back the mohawk gets, you just have like a straight back of your head.
Look at that rat tail.
Because that's kind of what that looks like. Here's where the hairline should be. Here's where the mohawk lays currently. Anyway.
Good times.
Yep. Franklin AR is the best AR, says Brian Knight. Franklin makes some pretty good shit.
I don't think
But I don't know if it's the best. I don't know. What's the best AR? Is it BCM? LaRue? Is it like Yankee Hill?
Knight's Armament?
Is it Knight's Armament? Is it fucking Spikes? Like who makes the best shit?
Spikes.
Look, they all make really good shit. I like Spikes and I like BCM the best. But I mean, dude, any of those, Daniel Defense, Franklin Armory, fucking, they're all fucking, they all make good shit. Like,
really, guys,
I'm hard pressed to think of any shitty ARs that are currently on the market.
Bear Creek.
Davidson Defense. They're pretty shitty. Fucking, what's the polymer one that they make?
Oh yeah, the all polymer.
American Tactical.
Yeah, ATI Omni.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's shitty, but it's not that good. I don't know. I'm sure
the BCMs they're over $1,000 for a complete rifle, aren't they?
I don't think they sell complete rifles. I was looking for one the other day. I don't think they do lowers anymore.
I was gonna say, ain't Bear Creek sell stuff really cheap? I mean, you can probably even make something and sell to somebody.
Bear Creek's okay. The thing about Bear Creek though, it's like heavy. It's like for whatever reason, they like that's how they make it cheaper is just by having like more material on the thing or something. I don't fucking know how it works.
Oh yeah, I meant like, if you're just trying to sell AR to somebody, that's what I was thinking.
So I'd like the idea of it being somewhat liquid.
Oh,
my whole
he said
point is
Franken AR, not Franklin.
My buddy's got a.
My ARs are
Cry.
Franken AR parts, many different companies. Sorry, my bad. I read that wrong.
My buddy's got a Crytek Sport War or something. That thing's a piece of shit too.
BCM uppers are over 1,000. Yeah, BCM's fucking high quality though. Like if you're going for high quality, I would say BCM.
Yeah, or Kaisley.
Yeah, guys are supposed to be releasing some fucking really good shit this year.
If you're looking for investment, just buy quality uppers and stow them.
Mm-hmm.
Although when the shit went down, like 2012, right? Like before 2012, you could get fairly cheap AR-15s for like $700-ish that you could put, like part together and build for like $600-700 sometimes, or a little bit more, like $1,000-1,200 if you wanted a nicer one. You had like a little bit more expensive stuff. And then Sandy Hook happened, and then everyone bought up all the guns, especially the cheap ones. And then all of a sudden, the cheap ones that you could get for like $700 are going for like $1,400, right? But that $1,200 gun is going for like $1,500. Like it went up too, but only like $300 versus the cheap one double.
Right. Hey, it's Amazon Prime Week. Is there anything super awesome cool you guys are buying that I need to slap in my cart while it's on sale?
I mean, I just bought a punch set. That's it.
I haven't even
Camel Coban.
Ooh,
I
yeah,
just
that's
bought
good.
stuff from AliExpress.
I bought a rechargeable fan because I was hot as fuck during the power outage this past week.
Yeah, solar powered one. Or?
I've got everything
Yeah.
in my cart to buy a GoPro Hero 9 with a media mod and a fucking microphone to start doing moto vlogs for the channel. So I can show you guys where I go during the day on the motorbike and do little fucking not live chats, but just like monologue subject chats where I talk about shit and ride a bike and show you parts of Colorado.
That would have been cool on that.
They're taking over.
I want to see the mountain goats.
They're up there. You don't see them every time you go up there, but they're up there sometimes.
Damn it, find them.
You couldn't even find the hotels being taken over.
That's not true. I found exactly both of them.
But not active scenes.
Yeah, not while there was fucking like Venezuelan gang members pointing guns at people. I missed that part. You're right.
Yeah, that's the cool shit.
Yeah, I definitely missed that part.
He wanted you to get shot for the pew view.
But your views would have been fucking astronomical.
Trump's having a rally in Colorado this week on Friday.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
You heading over?
Yeah.
If I can make it during the day, I work that night, but I don't know what time they're doing it, so I might have to like go over there during the day and hang out and see what's going on.
That'd be all right.
You have to go early, get screened.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I wouldn't try to do anything at a Trump rally. That's fucking retarded. Who would do that?
I was gonna say bring that 6-year, man. Maybe you might save him from another assassination.
Oh yeah, did you ever get that LCP Max you were eyeballing?
Nope. I got other shit that needs my money first, but it's on the list.
Cool.
It's not like I don't have guns I can carry, And if I really needed some, like if I was like, oh man, I don't know about this neighborhood I'm bringing my kids into tonight. Gonna pack the 5-shooter. Like, no, I'll bring a dagger or something at that point,
And the 5-shooter. Toss it to your oldest kid. Say, get my back.
I don't know, that the oddest handgun for me to carry would be that 6.8, 6.7 shot with that 6-inch barrel. Good luck trying to hide that one.
No, that's a keister carry. You're good.
It does weigh like 7 pounds.
Jesus.
It's nice though. Oh, the length ain't the problem. It's just sticking out.
It's the weight, dude. That thing weighs so fucking much. Like, I'm not saying it's actually 7 pounds, but for a handgun, that thing it's like a lead weight. I don't know. I've only shot mine a couple times. I'm not actually the biggest fan of it.
I like mine. It's just I'm surprised that recoil ain't much, especially with 357.
I don't know. I need to upgrade the grip on it. I've got the bird's head grip, and it likes to flip in your hand when you shoot it, which makes it super uncomfortable.
Oh.
But if it had like the regular grip on it, it would probably be fine. I don't know. But yeah. I don't know, man. Fucking bullshit and stuff. This is what happens when you don't prepare for a chat. You're like, oh, I have nothing to talk about. What's going on in the world today? Did the fucking World War III start yet? Is Duke freaking out about Ukraine again?
Probably.
Duke's always freaking. He's always in the fucking group chat being like, oh my God, bros, did you hear they're shooting rockets now? And that's the fucking, this is it. This is it. Get your rice together.
They arrested an ISIS terrorist who was going to do a terrorist attack on Election Day.
Oh, I heard about that. Where was that going to happen? In D.C.?
Oklahoma City.
Oh, well.
The almost church shooting in Texas ended up being false. The security guard falsified the police report.
That son of a bitch.
I wouldn't be surprised, though, if fucking shit starts popping off pretty soon. I mean, beyond the intentional fucking hurricanes that they keep sending into Florida and stuff.
Yeah, I hope that bitch doesn't come this way.
I mean, as somebody who works in the government building, I mean, Some of them are a little bit up there. You know, even they're getting ready just in case some shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I don't work in that building.
Well, I was looking
Sure,
at polls today,
overtime.
and now multiple polls have Trump ahead of Kamala Harris. And that's after the CNN fucking interview, or not CNN. Yeah, it was CNN also. CNN also fucked her. But it was the 60 Minutes interview that they posted. And I was looking at it just before the chat. There was like, well, here's the CNN edited, or I keep saying CNN, 60 Minutes edited version of the question, and then they would play it. And then here's the unedited version, and it was like way worse. So as bad as that fucking interview was, the unedited version needs to be released for everyone to see, I think.
She's not very well spoken.
Oh, she's
Y'all
terrible. She's a fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all seriously went on Howard Stern today?
Mm-mm.
That wasn't nothing but a fucking circle jerk with him and her.
Did she ride the Saban?
Oh, she did everything but.
Like, are they trying to tank her on purpose?
That's what I'm wondering, man. 'Cause you cannot be that bad and not know it.
I think they actually do want Trump to win, because if you look at the market trends, there's a set amount of time after interest rates get really high, and then once they actually start lowering them again, it's only a matter of time before there's a huge market crash.
Yep.
And it's lining up to be right after the election. So I think they want Trump to win, and then the market just like Great Depression level bullshit.
That's going to be worse than the Great Depression, but yeah, they set this domino stack up to do that, just to make sure to cover their ass.
It's funny how you guys went exactly where I was going to go. That's awesome. Yeah, dude, it seems like that's where it's going. Like, they're going to fucking... Well, we tried to beat him with an old man. Couldn't do it. Try to bring in the DEI hire woman to beat him. Didn't look like she was going to do it. So we brought in an assassin. He missed. We brought in another assassin. They fucking caught him. Now the fucking security's up, so assassins are probably out. At least fucking easy picking assassins that we would have had. So, okay, let's go to the media. Let's spend all of our media chips putting her in interviews that are softball interviews so that she's got, wow, look how bad she is. Fuck. All right, so we're going to lose because the only thing they've got left is cheating, which I don't think you should fucking give up on that yet, because
No.
that's not out. There's still that card to play, and they're going to play every card that they can. And yeah, so if that doesn't work, I think that they've got the cards set up so that when Trump gets in office, a couple months down the line, he makes a decision, and then boom, all the fucking economy collapses. Sanctions from China, whatever the fuck it is that fucking sets it off, so that they can blame it on Trump and say, look, even though we've had power for like 12 out of the last 16 years, it's his fault because he was in there for 4, and now he's back again, and he's going to destroy everything, just like we told you he would. See, everything's falling apart, and then things get really bad, right? We go into like a 4-year plus Great Depression all throughout the rest of Trump's presidency. Well, he does everything he can, but everything's stacked against him. It doesn't fucking work because it's not going to work, because it was designed not to work, because it was never going to work. And we're in a Venezuelan situation where your money does nothing and you can't find a job, and you know you're living on the fucking streets with your kids or whatever the fuck you got to do to survive. Like, it could get bad, bro. And then when things are so fucking bad that even the people who had savings and jobs and first class people, you know, are starting to fucking lose their homes and live on the street, they come in with a solution. A solution that under no other circumstance would anyone would ever have taken.
Right.
And that's digital currency and pure
Socialism.
government control over everything that you do and everything that you can buy and everything that you can say is all censored and fucking monitored and policed. And we're in a technocratic future that we volunteered for because it was better than the Great Depression.
Correct.
Well, I said the only good thing factor is that it's not just us going to be suffering. There's a whole bunch of other people all around the world in different nations. So Misery loves company.
When you rip the rug out from everybody, all the everyday normies who have, a 401k plan, who have a decent job that's not, minimum wage, who have a family, and you take everything away from them, including their house or something like that, to get any sense of normality, people will fold for a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't take it too far. Here's the thing. Here's the kitsch. There's nothing more dangerous than a man with nothing left to lose. They always got to leave you with just enough to hang on to that's so important to hang on to that you will go through and bear any fucking pain or whatever it is that you got to go through to hang on to that thing. But the second they take away, like you got kids and that's your thing, and it's your family in your house, and they take away your family in your house, you got nothing left, and you have someone to blame for it, that's very dangerous for the government. That's what they don't want.
Well, they're smart enough to know the I guess the term honey dick you along, but I expect the people with powers that be to be stupid, so I could tell that they might fuck up royally real bad one of these times, and that's one that's gonna backfire on them.
I'm just saying, man, you can't, if you got a donkey pulling your fucking cart along, you can't push him too hard, because then you'll be pulling your own cart, and that's kind of, we're the donkeys in this situation. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a crazy future we are headed into, full steam ahead. I was thinking about this earlier today, actually. The Nazis, they were authoritarian. It was an authoritarian fucking what would you call the fucking leader? Like a dictator, authoritarian dictatorship, in which they used military power to achieve goals outside of their own borders, right? Were they right wing or left wing?
Hard left.
Not on everything.
I mean, they were nationalists.
But on a lot of things, they were very left wing. They were very communistic, socialistic. I mean, it was the Socialist Party, Socialist Workers Party was that's, I don't know how that translates to fucking German, but that's Nazis, right? And they were very left wing in a lot of ways, though. About, I don't know, like, as long as you were part of the in group, like the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, Aryan race, German and Austrian people, you were good to go. We like you, and you're part of the program, and the programs are meant for you, and you're going to thrive under this program, and we're going to have jobs for you, and your kids are going to be in the Hitler Youth, and maybe they're going to be like a tank commander someday or something, so you can be proud of them fighting for Germany and spreading our fucking values to the rest of the world. Right? Like, that was their plan. And it worked really fucking well. Until it didn't. But at the cost of what? The cost of the people who weren't part of that in-group. And I was thinking about this. What does DEI mean to you if you're a white guy?
No more jobs.
It means that schools and companies and employers have the right and the obligation to specifically discriminate against you and your children. And you are called racist if you're not okay with it. Not to mention, like, oh, now, like, if you're fucking getting heart surgery and the surgeon's a fucking black dude, now you're questioning whether he got the job because he was a good surgeon or if he was black. Versus before, you wouldn't even think about that, Like, oh, the pilot's fucking an Asian woman. Are we all going to crash, or is she a good pilot? I don't fucking know. She could be a DEI hire.
There's a case going through the Supreme Court right now about a white woman who was white and straight and possibly discriminated against and demoted because of her background.
I think it's time to start suing employers, man. Like, you've been working at a place for a while. They haven't made you a manager. They haven't moved you up. They haven't done things to you, but you still work there. And you don't get written up, and you show up on time, and you do your job, and you do everything that you can, and then they hire some like Mexican woman to be your fucking boss.
I think the
Get away.
time is to go out and make a small business for yourself, whether it's a lawn care / snow removal business, whether it's anything, whether you run an oil rig, what do you know, something stupid. But if you have a fucking cleaning service, go start your own fucking company somehow.
Gain a skill. Learn how to fix a motor.
Yeah, you could be a small cycle shop, bro.
Yeah, I'm honestly thinking about that. Doing fork seals and carburetors and fucking brake pads and stuff. All easy shit that goes bad on bikes often. That shops charge an arm and a leg for. That you can charge an arm for. You know.
Yeah, you get a lot of business just undercutting the big guys, and it's easy stuff that if you don't want to do it, say you got to take it to a bigger shop and just keep doing the easy shit. Yeah, just doing fucking oil changes, man. You can get some business doing that.
Well, doing fork seals, doing one a week would be, I mean, easily fucking $1,200 a month in revenue. You know.
That's what I do. I'm a mechanic and build cars.
Yeah, or that, or whatever it is, man. Like, figure something out, because I feel like times are a changing for the worse. Like, what did people do during the Great Depression?
They did oddball jobs to make ends meet.
Whatever they had to.
Yep.
I was thinking like they'd hop on a fucking train for free to go across the country to look for work, and stop in fucking orchards and pick apples for a week, and then stop in the next town and fucking dig for coal for a month or whatever, you know?
Dig a ditch,
about to
pick
say,
cotton.
right during that time, my family was in West Virginia doing the coal mining.
Yeah, there
Or
was a
they
lot
were-
of traveling hobos back then.
Or they were farmers and didn't even know about the Great Depression. So
No,
And on
the
my
farmers
father's
definitely
side-
knew.
And on my
Not in
father's
the South.
side, they actually did pick cotton, right in South Carolina.
yep,
Yeah, it's big in South Carolina.
that's what they did here where I'm at, South Carolina. Mill still needs the cotton.
And until they came up with the cotton gin and took your jobs.
No, until they fucking brought NAFTA and shipped it overseas.
They took your gerbs.
They took your jibs.
Dude, I heard China. Okay, some of the land that China's buying up, do you know what they're doing with it? You would think like, oh yeah, they're using the farmland to farm the land because they bought the farmland and they were going to use the farmland to farm, right?
What are they doing? Destroying it?
Oh, who's sleeping right now?
Never enough ammo.
Ain't me, bitch.
I guess this is the chat that puts people to sleep. Anyway, so, and I have not confirmed this. I do not know this for fact. I have merely heard rumor, war and rumors of war. And that is that China's taking the soil and they're excavating the topsoil that's good for growing plants off of the land that they buy up and shipping it back to China. They're literally stealing the soil down to bedrock, which doesn't grow anything, or sand or whatever the fuck is down underneath the soil.
Mm-hmm.
They're stripping it down to the point where it's not topsoil and shipping all of it back to China.
So they got a fertile topsoil themselves back in China. But
Well, yeah, because why grow the food over here when they could just bring the soil over there and grow the food over there?
right. But
Mhm.
how would that actually work if like the soil and the climate is
Well, the
different?
topsoil, like the first, what is it, like 16, 18 inches is like the best soil. Everything else after that's fucking dog shit. So if they just ship it over to China where their labor's nothing, their only upfront cost is getting the soil. So that actually makes a lot of sense.
But I'm saying, like, well, I don't know, but would that be like a temporary thing? Like, would the soil change after time though? Because of
It
the
takes a
climate?
really long time to have soil turn into something that's worth a shit to plant in.
Okay.
Yeah, it does take quite a while of like building up like organic material and breaking it down and getting it to the point where it holds water and plants can grow in it and stuff like that. It does take a really long time to build that up. And there are parts of the Midwest that have way more. Like you would think that they would only have like 18 inches, but they've actually got like quite a bit of it because it's like from remnants of floods and stuff, you know, like fucking pushed all the topsoil to one spot and then buried it there, and there it sits. You know, it's kind of like a gold mine of fucking topsoil.
Well, I'll tell you, when they put in wind farms over here, the farmers, because they go on cornfields and stuff, where the farmer actually gets basically like a royalty charge for them renting their land forever. They have to come in their entire area they're going to use for like construction and to set up like all the job tents and shit, all the electricians and everything like that, all their equipment storage. They have to come in and scrape off that topsoil, and they have to move it behind the entire construction site, and then they bring in rock so that way they can put all their shit down so it's not a giant mud hole. And then on every single location, they have to scrape off all the topsoil and move it somewhere else for the farmer to actually still use. I was a security guy for one of them. That was actually a pretty good contract.
Yeah, we did the same thing when we built a reservoir when I worked in construction like years and years ago. Like fucking 20 years ago now. Jesus Christ. Started off with, I don't know, like a 10-acre piece of land. And we scraped off like the top 1 foot-ish, like 12 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Scraped that 12 inches off and made one giant fucking pile, right? And then we dug the hole and did all the things, and we spent months at this place fucking like building this you know, reservoir. And then at the end, like one of the last things that we did was go back to that pile of topsoil and like spread it around the sides, like all around the fucking reservoir, so that like plants could grow there now, you know. And when we dug into it, it was the smelliest, stinky, like it was like it fermented all the grass and all the fucking trees and stuff that were like caught up in there for months. Oh man, it smelled so fucking bad. But like that's the kind of shit that plants fucking love, dude.
Oh yeah, cow shit's a big thing around here.
I mean, since all the dinosaurs got swept up 12,000 years ago, right? Never enough ammo.
God damn it.
Yeah, something like that.
Because that's been proven by recent discoveries. 100%.
I mean, I didn't say that at all, but okay.
Never enough ammo proved it to me.
It just means that, you know, the Flintstones was closer to reality than we ever thought. That's all. Maybe Barney Rubble did have a fucking brontosaurus.
Hey, my wife's fucking hot. That's all I know.
Speaking of Barney Rubble, where's fucking Duke?
That's Fred.
Yeah, he's Fred, Barney, whatever. You know, he looks like either one of them. He looks like a caveman, let's be honest.
That's not very nice.
Hey, man, we're all cavemen. We're just, you know.
Just at different stages.
We have hot showers. That's the difference.
Sophisticated cavemen.
Yeah, we have hot showers, and someone invented electricity for us. Do you think we would have figured this out on our own?
I mean, maybe.
Probably not. Like, if you started off in a cave, how long would it take you to have an iPhone?
Long fucking time. I don't have any Chinese kids slapping them together for me.
Well, the days of Chinese kids slapping shit together for you might be over. And for me too.
This could be true.
Because it could be that the American labor is cheaper than the Chinese labor, because the American labor costs, let's say, $20 an hour, but $20 buys you a fucking can of soda. Like, that's where it's going. Oh,
I mean, if it gets that bad for us, I mean, I'm all for the conquering. Like, we might turn into that again.
wouldn't it suck if you worked all fucking day long? You worked a 12-hour shift, and at the end of your 12-hour shift, you could buy a 12-pack of soda.
You got a nickel.
You could pay for like 3 gallons of gas for your car. Wouldn't that be great after a 12-hour shift?
I think Tactical Muffin Top just bought a 3/4-ton truck.
That's pretty much what.
That happens. You definitely need a motorcycle or a scooter at that point.
No. I'm putting
Great.
a blade on the front of it, and it's going to make me fucking money.
Well, no, he's saying if like you work for 12 hours and buys three gallons of gas only,
Oh, yeah.
then you'd want something that gets like 100 miles of the gallon. Like,
You just ride a bike. You just walk. You can't afford anything that consumes gas.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Bring back horses.
Yeah, that's basically those Chinese sweatshops. They work for like a pack of ramen a day.
Dude, how does the rental market work? Because, like, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. During the Great Depression, there wasn't a rental market. People just, like, owned where they lived.
Mhm.
And if they didn't have a place that they owned, they would just, like, build a shack on a fucking piece of mud, and then they would own that. Because no one cared.
Well, a lot of people lived together. It was like, what, 15 in a room or something? Or some people just lived out in the woods and shit.
But I'm saying, like, the regulations that stop people from building houses today weren't effectively there back then. So if you wanted to buy a house, it cost nothing more than the land that you wanted to build your house on, which was cheap because there weren't many people back then compared to now, and the cost of the materials of the house itself, right? There wasn't all this extra, like, zoning and housing and, like, electrical hookups and gas and water and fucking all the other bullshit that goes along with having a house today, and insurance and fucking mortgages and blah 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 blah.
Well, this goes back to what I'm saying. It all depends on the government. You think the government gonna watch my ass if I go all the way deep in the damn woods? They
So
got
you
better
have
things
the
to do.
skills to do that. That's the other thing. Because, like, back then,
Yeah.
I think about my grandpa, right? My grandpa had a woodworking shop in the basement where he could produce a fucking rocking chair or a fucking, like, think anything made of wood. He could fucking make it as good as anybody's ever made anything out of wood, period. Like, he had all the tools and lathes and fucking finishes and files and sanders and fucking bandsaws and everything that you could possibly fucking want.
By hand, not like a plug-in one, like the old school good shit.
And that was skills that he acquired. The house that he had all of that stuff in, he built with his own two hands. They would buy, like, a pallet of bricks a week and fucking start putting bricks until they had a basement, and then they would buy, like, you know, however much lumber they could bring to the house, and then fucking build it a piece at a time until they had a fucking house. You know, like, that's just how he fucking did it. And that house is still there, and it's worth probably fucking lots of money now, you know?
Well, it's going to create a whole bunch of different groups and stuff. There's some like there's some people that even have a fetish of going back to the 1950s. I wouldn't be surprised, even through all this fucked up shit that happens in this country, you're gonna have certain groups that are like, oh, we're gonna live in a technological marvel, but it's kind of, you know, a very authoritarian-esque, or somebody just want to live like, hey, I just want to live by my land and, you know, by my neighbors, and we just do this shit over here.
The point is, you can't. The point is, the government has come in and said, oh, has that wood been load tested that you cut down in your backyard and milled yourself? It hasn't? Well, then that structure is condemned, even though it's perfectly fine structurally and everything is fine about it, because we didn't have our wood inspector come look at it and put our government stamp on your wood. You can't use it to build a house.
Well, if it was built pre-code, anything you do to update the house, then you have to bring it up to code. So you just have to leave your house, like, basically as is.
Well, yeah, but like I said, it goes how good as the government is at interacting.
Hold on. Or, hey, I want to build a house here at all. Cool, 1930s, you build the fucking house because you own the land. Now you have to submit plans to the city, and then your neighbor can be like, well, the house that he's planning to build right next to my property is going to bring my property value down. So now I'm going to get my lawyer involved, and I'm going to sue you until you can prove through court processes that you can build your house and blah, blah. That's how it works, dude. That's how it fucking works.
Yep. And then you got to get your septic. Then you got to get your electrical trench dug. Then you got to get
and then now you're part of an HOA and all of these other fees and fines and nickels and dimes, which aren't nickels and dimes anymore. They're like hundreds and thousands, you know. And no one's going to be able to afford this. So, like, the economy goes bad. You lose your job. I lose my job. Everyone loses their job. No one can find a job because there's not jobs for anybody. Now it's not just like, oh, man, we're living in the poorhouse because we're in this house and we have nothing. It's like, no, you're living on nothing. You're just out on the street. You're out on the street, living on the street with the other street people, and there's nothing you can do about it because you don't own the house and you never did. And we have fucking foreign people in the police force enforcing the fucking housing codes on people now, and like you don't like it, they don't care about your rights. They don't even know about rights. They don't know what rights are. They're from fucking like Zimbabwe. What do you think fucking rights are to them?
Well, like just like in those other countries, it's going to create a lot of chaos where people are going to go, go at the government, and even in the whole, stuff that's going on even in this country is going to affect them too.
Yeah, it's easy. You get 100 of your buddies that half of them know how to farm, and the other half protect them with guns, and then you can tell everybody else to go fuck themselves.
There's going to be people that's going to do that too.
Yeah, it's going to be 21st century outlaws.
Just don't let it be you.
Century Fox, you're a 21st century fox. No one.
You're dating yourself.
Yeah, I'm old, bro. Keep breathing, motherfucker.
They want you to be the proletariat. Don't know anything but to work.
Every time I look at the chat and I see something from Mark Malone. Yes, we remember the tunnels, Mark Malone.
Is that still? Oh, he means well, Honda. Come on now.
Yeah, he comes on my chats every now and again and says stuff like, "Remember the Jew tunnels? Remember New York?"
Right.
That's where they hid all the gold. They probably.
What's that dude doing now? Is he a
Being
doctor
racist.
or a lawyer?
He's probably a rocket
Or a
scientist.
banker. Or
he's
I don't know
probably-
how many fucking things that dude said he was, and all the times he used to come on the chat. I'm just like, dude, you're just making shit up. Like everything. He said he was goddamn every fucking career you could fucking ever possibly have.
What's that?
Maybe
I think the dude
$12
works at a
welder.
fucking hot dog stand or something.
Hey, Leo, I need you to help me with the black joke. Can you do that for me?
Well, he actually admitted to fucking people over in the housing market crash.
So I'm going to say something, and then you have to say the N-word. Okay, Leo?
This feels like you're using Leo.
Are you there, dude? All right. Backup black person. Shot Red, are you there?
Oh.
I'm going to need you to say the N-word after I say this sentence, okay?
Mhm.
Well, first of all, I got to do the setup. What do you call
Niggas.
a... Oh.
That worked
That was
out
a long
really well.
pause. I'm like,
That was fucking perfect.
Sounds about right.
What do you call a black surgeon?
niggas.
Jesus Christ.
Yo, apparently you got something in your Discord. In the main chat. A Florida pick for the hurricane stuff.
Wait, what now?
I don't know. So Dwayne said he has something for you in the Florida, something about the Florida thing in your Discord.
Cool. Homework assignment. Thanks for that.
You're
Appreciate it.
welcome.
Thanks
Well,
for-
he messaged me to talk to you because you're not watching your chat.
Oh, this is Orlando right now. That's crazy.
Oh, I remember my store was like that last week.
Yeah.
That's
We
pretty
still do.
crazy, bro. Is this because of the strike too? Is the strike having an effect, or
No,
are
this
they
is-
back to work now? I know they're like
No,
5
they're
days.
back to work.
They're working.
Mostly
They were back to work after 2 fucking days.
Well, fuck those pussies.
Yeah, 60 hours. But they can renegotiate January 15th, so if Trump does get in, they can just totally fuck him and cut down a bunch of import.
Which I'm sure that's the plan.
Yeah, probably.
That's crazy, man. Have you ever been to the store and it looks like that? I've never seen a store like that.
Yep.
No.
I've seen
Walmart.
sections of stores look like that before. Never a whole store. But
Yeah,
I-
like
My
the meat
eggs.
section or something. Yeah, that's kind of scary.
My Walmart was like
Although,
that
I
last
want to be
week
honest
because
with
the
you.
power
Like looking
was
at
off
that
for a
picture,
week.
like okay, so I'm sorry, their cooler section is out. That's what that is. Nobody
Yeah,
goes
that's how
and
ours
binge buys fucking juice. Okay, nobody's buying juice to prep for a fucking hurricane.
I don't want scurvy, Matt.
That's a
I'm getting
bullshit
Sunny D.
picture. That's a bullshit picture of a store where their fucking cooler section went out, so they had to take everything off the rack.
Yeah, there's still stuff in the
Yeah,
these
that's
coolers.
bullshit because
And on
juice
these
would
shelves.
not be the first thing to fucking go.
And over here, off to the right, where you can't see, that's probably full of potatoes and onions and stuff.
Yeah, their cooler just fucking went out. That's what that
They
is. That's
probably
a
put it all back in their main fridge, so that way when the power does go out and they've got to use their backup Jenny, they don't have to use as much power.
You know what? That's actually probably the correct answer, lawfully. That makes the most sense.
Yep. Or people fucking really needed some juice to ride out the storm.
You didn't
That
finish
OJ.
the jar.
Jenny powered cooler.
Yeah, because that's there's a storm coming. I gotta get my OJ.
I'm low on vitamin C,
I
baby.
need that Sunny D, baby.
I'm gonna tell you right now, when a hurricane is coming, the last thing that sells out is the cooler section. Cooler section and frozen food usually stay completely full because nobody's buying shit that has to be refrigerated.
It's chalky milk, bro.
So that is a bullshit picture. Somebody just took a picture of an empty aisle somewhere and posted some bullshit on it.
Jeez.
Well, plus the other thing is like, oh, this is Orlando right now. Is it? Because the internet is full of things that are not true, including pictures with titles above them.
Like I said, that could easily be my store from last week. So,
or it could be from Hurricane Sandy or something.
Yep.
Did Honda finish the joke?
I don't know.
No,
something about we need a black guy to finish the joke.
Yeah, I couldn't finish the joke. It's not my joke to finish.
My neurologist is black, so I thought I was going to have something funny to go tell him. But
anyway, we've
I
been
gotta
going
get out,
an hour and
guys.
a half, boys, and I have really nothing else to talk about. You got anything else before we start winding down, heading down the old dusty trail?
I'm tired.
Okay, so let's talk about niggas.
they like
You can say this
Dracos.
shit on YouTube, just I can't say this shit on YouTube.
They like watermelon and barbecue. I mean, come on now.
Excuse me, sir. I do not like watermelon.
What? You ain't a real one.
I love watermelon. What's wrong with watermelon?
I'll take
Watermelon.
anything else another watermelon.
Where's Malone with the great Kool-Aid comment?
You spend like $4 and you've got like a giant thing of fucking watermelon to eat. Versus you spend like $4 on grapes, you have like a handful of grapes,
Yep, grapes.
Or like strawberries or whatever. Like $4 for the strawberries. Is
Strawberries
like a
fucking slap though, dude.
versus a giant ass fucking watermelon for $4.
All my family members like watermelon. I just don't like watermelon. I mean, I'll as the fruit. I mean, I have it as flavor, but yeah.
Depends on the exact kind of watermelon.
Like a good watermelon. Like seedless good watermelon.
Well, no, I'm saying there's like a whole bunch of different categories of watermelon out there that you can grow.
All right, I'm not
We
talking
actually
like
grew some
cantaloupe.
years ago.
Apparently Ohio knows all about watermelons.
There's ones called sugar babies that are about the size of like a basketball, and they are super fucking delicious.
He's the only
He's the
person
one
I've ever
that-
known to be specific about his varieties of produce.
You like the seeded kinds of watermelons, Eduardo? I like the seedless because you don't have to fuck with them. Like seeded's fine. It's just you have to keep spitting out fucking watermelon seeds or fucking swallowing them like pills. Anyway,
How
see
about
what I mean? I was gonna end it, and then we talked about this bullshit. We should have just fucking ended it. All right, y'all. Deuces, shut up, pee and fridge, trooper to shabanama to pressure, bat a cat care, protect the troops, and put some respect on my name. Later.